What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Getting Technical, episode 58. Here with Burke and Sam.
Stashless.
Stashless Burke. How you guys doing? Ready? Football? I mean, we're right here now.
We're so close.
It's fantasy football draft week.
So close.
What? The first week of the NFL season is next week.
Next Thursday.
Next Thursday. Not this up.
Wait, are the Jets the first game?
No, they're
or
Monday.
Or is it a Super Bowl rematch?
No,
It's the first game is usually whoever won the Super Bowl. So it's the Chiefs. I don't know who they're playing.
it's Chiefs Ravens Thursday. Then
That's a good fucking game. Wow.
in Brazil Friday is
Packers Eagles, right?
Yeah.
What time zone is Brazil in?
They should be pretty close to us, if not an hour behind.
Yeah, they're probably like
They're 2 hours
That's not that
ahead.
bad.
Really?
It's an hour or two ahead, yeah.
Really?
That ain't bad. College football's back. I think today's like the big day, right? Isn't there like 12 games on today?
21.
21 games on today for college football. But like literally less than an hour before we started recording, Aiyuk confirmed 4 years, 120. He's back with the Niners. That deal was looming over them. What do you guys think about that?
I mean, it makes the most sense. I don't know how you don't bring back Aiyuk. I don't know. Like your number one target. If they didn't bring him back, like that offense changes immensely. It's a tough one. So like they had to bring him back.
Isn't it weird though to me how like the 49ers, when Debo was kind of up for a contract, it was like this whole scenario. He basically asked for a trade as well. That whole summer he was kind of all over the place, and then he gets the deal done. And then the same thing kind of happens with Aiyuk, and then eventually they just keep coming back to the Niners. Like, I just don't know why is it the Niners like not wanting to pay these guys at first, or they're just trying to negotiate? It's just why. First of all, why if you're a receiver, why would you want out of the Niners offense? And second of all, if you have a talented receiver like this, why would you even want to like trade them or not re-sign them?
I mean, I think the biggest thing about it, there's definitely some like cap implications and like calculations that they do, because both of these contracts happening after the waiver period on Wednesday might have something to do with it, just because you never know who's going to get cut and who you're going to be able to pick up in terms like that. But the reason why the Niners do work the way they do, I mean, the wide receivers aren't that important to their roster. I mean, it all revolves around CMC. So I mean, they really think that they could just plug and play.
Well, they also do have Kittle. They have an elite offensive line.
Right, but Kittle's another one. Like, he doesn't care. I guess he's just a guy that loves football, but he doesn't care. He'll go, one catch for 7 yards one week, be as happy as he can be as long as they win the game. But then the next week, he could have, 7 for 112 and a touchdown and be just as happy. He doesn't care.
That's probably pretty true too. Where it's like they understand that if they just go ahead and trade Aiyuk, and then somebody else, like you're saying, is just going to step up and be able to succeed in that system, just because Brock Purdy is good enough where he can like disperse the ball to everybody, and obviously it runs through CMC. So that's probably the best point, where it's just like we need to make sure that we have CMC locked in and a solid off. The big thing with them though too is they don't have Trent Williams locked up.
Yeah, that was another thing.
He's saying he's holding out until he gets that contract, and he can hold out after week one, and I'll be happy as a clam.
Yep.
Let Jermaine Johnson and company just go wild on the ends, because if they're missing their all Pro Bowl left tackle, like that is gigantic.
Yeah, I mean, and another thing for the receiver option, they did just draft Ricky Pearsall. That like freak out of Florida.
The Florida kid,
yeah. So I mean, they probably felt a little comfortable in that sense, that if they could get a good deal for Aiyuk, trade him away, get two first-round picks, and not have to worry about the contract.
That's kind of tough though, where it'd be trying to get him, dishing him, and then hoping that Debo can stay healthy enough, and then running a rookie with that kind of system. I don't know. I mean, it makes the most sense to just bring Aiyuk back. I mean, $120 million is not even the biggest contract. So I mean, I don't know. To me, it made the most sense. But maybe it's also just John Lynch just likes to haggle. He could just be like there was that one quote where it was just like, eventually you have to play. Yeah. So he was talking about Aiyuk, so it's like maybe that's just like a part of who he is, where he really just haggles to the last second.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's like Jamar Chase now, like he like showed up for practice in street clothes. He's still looking for a deal. CeeDee had this whole offseason thing. I just don't understand what the point of this is from ownership, if eventually they are going to pay them. And then it's like all you did was just kind of mess up the preseason for this guy. He's a little behind. He's behind schedule, and now you kind of have to figure things out from there.
I mean, who knows?
Obviously, these guys are that good.
Like I'm saying, maybe these guys really do just like end up lowering their numbers. Like if Aiyuk maybe really wanted that 130 mark, and they ended up saving $10 million. Same thing, CD. If you wanted Justin Jefferson money, and then they got him underneath that, he's at 136, Jefferson's at 140. So if they were able to just get him underneath that, because they were able to just hold him, you're like, listen, you're just going to keep taking fines every day. So you're going to lose out on money. We don't. So it doesn't matter to us.
Yeah, I think it also comes into account that the money is the biggest thing for these guys at the end of the day, because they can get hurt, just running routes in practice, and they're going to these mini camps and these OTAs, and they take one bad cut, they Achilles, ACL, MCL, anything could happen. And if they're not locked up, I mean, it's just
season's done, and then they're throwing everything up into the air for the off season.
Yeah, and they're in like peak condition year round nowadays. I mean, there's just so many facilities that they have.
Le'Veon Bell wasn't.
Well, yeah. But still,
he took a year off. It's so different.
He took a year off, but a running back is a little bit of a different situation, considering that he had over 300 touches for 3 straight seasons. I mean, it takes a toll, and he was a physical guy. I mean, he just running back is a different conversation. For wide receivers, I completely understand the idea of a holdout, but I mean, with Hassan Reddick for the Jets, it's different for the Jets because they have such a loaded defensive line room where they can just plug in Hassan Reddick. It's not going to make or break their season. It'd be great to have him, but I still think that defensive line is one of the best in the league.
Absolutely, I think it's just like Jermaine Johnson should be taking a leap. So if Hassan Reddick can come back, it's obviously a big boost. But they're already saying it's just like whatever signing bonus he signs this year, it's already gone to fines. So it's like I think Joe Douglas kind of has that upper hand. Where I think you were saying this, where if he doesn't sign this year, they get a
get a comp pick.
Yeah, they get a comp pick, or no? Doesn't he his contract doesn't expire?
It doesn't expire. So he could still come in, and if he decides to not play, he gets all of his game checks are gone from this contract that he's already under. Because he wants an extension. He's not a free.
But I'm saying, like you were saying, like the Jets still have him for next year if he doesn't play.
Yeah, because the contract doesn't go void. It doesn't get voided. It just resets at the end of this year.
So he's just
basically lose $15 million and then still have to do the same thing again next year.
Right,
and he'll be a year older.
You just have less leverage. So like Joe Douglas is just in the absolute driver's seat here, and he's just like, you're gonna do what I say.
And then he just came out with that that workout video that his trainer posted.
That's great. You look good, and you're training and doing everything right, but like you need to be on the field. Like there's nothing like game reps.
But that's the thing. It's like, don't you think that if some team wanted to pay Hassan Reddick all this money that he's expecting, it would have happened? Some other team would have traded for him. The Jets traded for him
because the Jets aren't going to give him away for a lesser deal. So if they weren't going to get more than a third-round pick, which is what they traded for him, they weren't going to make the trade.
Well,
I'm saying no other team traded for him.
I think they were fully expecting him to just be easy and sign a new deal right away from the trade. Like they weren't expecting him to be, wanting whatever money he wants. Like he wants $25 million a year, I think.
Yeah, that's
he
insane.
wants something absurd for a guy that's 30, 31, 32. Like $15 million a year is a little low for him, but if they can meet at 18, 19, 20,
and that's
even
probably
20 is a little high.
I think it'll probably end up being 20.
He's 32 years old. If he degresses at all this year, it's we're paying you 25. We gave you a $10 million raise to degress.
Yeah.
So it's you have to keep him. If I'm going to give you a raise, you got to improve. No, in my opinion,
for sure.
I can't go off the past. They were saying that was a big point. It was I can't go off your past performances because you've never played for us. So it's your past performances would reflect in a contract negotiation with the Eagles, but not for the Jets.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's.
I don't know. Do you guys think Dak ends up staying with Dallas after this year?
I
find it hard to do. I think they'll find a way to keep
Jerry
him.
Jones loves him. Jones loves him, but they have to pay him and Parsons.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. I think they'll eventually say that.
Micah?
No, he's still on his rookie deal. They just paid Dak, but now that 3-year contract that he signed.
CeeDee.
No, but they paid Dak a couple years ago.
Years ago.
That's what I was thinking. That Dak gets a huge contract every 3 years. It feels like.
That's because he wasn't
the 5th-year option, right?
No, he wasn't given a 5th-year option. He was a 4th-round pick, so he ended up having to get a new deal, and then that deal ended. Then they franchise tagged him. Then they added another deal onto it. Now he's due for another one.
Right.
So
you kind of forget how long Dak's really been in the league for.
Yeah, he's been in the league same amount as Zeke. So what was that, 2015?
Yeah, wow.
Been
He's
like-
going on
it's
9
been
years.
it's been almost 10 years, and he's gotten a bunch of contracts. He's
but
made a lot of money.
I also think like Jerry Jones loves him. I think they'll let Micah walk before they let Dak walk.
No way.
You don't think so?
No.
Micah Parsons is the best defensive player in football. There's no way.
I understand that, but like I don't know, like there's something with Jerry Jones and Dak Prescott. Like it's like his baby. Like he just loves him.
Dak has already earned $162 million in his
Wow. Thievery.
And he probably,
That's insane.
And how old is he?
He's 31.
31.
So he's
Just
probably,
turned 31 on July 29th.
So he's probably going to want a 4-year deal, and it's probably going to be around like $55 million a year.
Yeah. So I mean,
So when you think about that, what's that?
That
$225 million deal?
That's disgusting.
that plus all the endorsements he's made being a
You're
Cowboy.
gonna tell me Dak Prescott is like gonna earn $360 million?
It's ridiculous.
By the time it's all
just
said and done with everything, he'll probably have made $500 million in his career.
Just
like not like contract wise, endorsements and all that
and
stuff.
everything.
Right.
He's a Cowboy. I mean,
Just to be
they are the most marketable team in the NFL.
just to get 1-2 barbecued in the playoffs every year.
Yep.
It's crazy.
Good for him.
By the Packers.
What was he?
Him-
135th overall pick in 2016.
Him and Kirk Cousins might be two of the biggest finessers, and I'm a huge Kirk fan.
I like them both.
But,
honestly.
But the thing
But
is,
it
like,
is crazy how much
But
money
like
they
Kirk Cousins has been just thieving teams out here. He is
Right,
just,
but he's also never been given the chance for a long-term deal. I mean, he got
Well, no, but, like,
franchise
he
tag,
got that-
franchise tag. Then he finally got paid by Minnesota. Then they re-upped it, and then by the end of this, he was due for another one, and he tears his Achilles.
all right, but then Atlanta had to give him? What was Atlanta's deal? Atlanta's deal.
Oh,
was,
yeah, Atlanta's deal was
I'm
like
saying,
3 for
he
180 or something
'cause
like that.
He got like $90 million from Minnesota after just
look
for
it up.
that
I'll
just
look
for
it
like that 3-year deal or whatever.
Right.
And then whatever his rookie contract was with
Well, his rookie contract was nothing. He was also a
but
fourth
it was
round
probably
pick.
it was probably like $10 million total. You think? No, probably
No,
not
less
even.
than that.
So I don't believe these numbers count his future pay. So Kirk Cousins' career earnings: $231,669,486.
Get your
Another
money up. That's your money up, Kirk.
Another fourth round guy though. It's crazy. These guys,
Yeah.
That's highway
robbery.
I mean, obviously, if you come in late and you
Yeah.
are really a good quarterback, there's kind of an opportunity to make more money quicker because you can get that contract. Obviously, you don't get as much money up front.
I mean, not really. I mean,
I don't know. I think these are just two like outside cases. Like
like you got to look at the number one guys like T-Law, Herbert, Mahomes, Kyler,
like even
Deshaun.
like Watson right now's
Yeah,
contract
like,
is
those
insane.
contracts are
True.
astronomical.
Pat
But all you need to
Mahomes
get
is $500 million.
yeah,
Like,
those contracts are astronomical,
yeah.
but it only
Like you're
happens
saying,
one time.
You're only gonna wait the 1 extra year to get that contract. Like I'm saying, I think these are two special occasions. At $230 million to win maybe 1 playoff game or 2 playoff games for Kirk is
That's the biggest thing.
that's fucking crazy.
He hasn't been able to get past that, and that's probably why he hasn't gotten that long-term Deshaun Watson kind of deal.
Right now.
Well,
But his contract was fully guaranteed.
the Minnesota one.
Right.
That was the year like everyone was just like he's gonna go to the Jets, and he leveraged the Jets contract to get more out of Minnesota.
That was before. Like that was his initial contract.
That was from Minnesota. I'm saying, yeah, the
right.
initial
that,
Minnesota
that one wasn't fully guaranteed. It was the second one in Minnesota
I thought
that
they were
was fully
both.
guaranteed.
I thought they were both.
I'll
fully
just say,
guaranteed.
No, I
Kirk
don't think
Cousins made
so.
over $230 million. He actually only has one
playoff
career playoff win.
Yeah, bro. It's like
See, I don't.
honestly,
didn't Dak win one in his rookie year?
he doesn't really like play bad in the playoffs. It's just he just doesn't play good enough.
I
Like,
mean, he got outplayed by Daniel Jones, which is just
listen,
the biggest blemish. you
But
could
I mean,
have.
His first game doesn't
He got
even
a-
count. He threw the ball.
he's
10
got a
times.
5-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio.
He's got a QBR.
Oh, you know what that first one was?
93.7.
That first one, he
goes
came
against
in
Seattle,
in
he
relief
came in, yeah.
for RG3 when he had that giant knee brace on. He tried the ball fumbled behind him,
Yeah,
and he
but like
turned
I
his
mean,
knee.
these aren't bad stats. You know,
Look at Dak Prescott has 2 playoff wins.
yeah, and he's 3.
He has
Tw-
I don't know. This is 14-7 TD. He's got a 91.8 rating.
yeah, I mean, Kirk is technically
they're not like either of
He
them
threw,
are really
he
bad
threw
in the
7
playoffs.
picks in 2 games.
No. He's got like 6 playoff games.
7 games.
7
Oh, I
playoff
thought you were
games.
just going based off the wins.
No, his
He went
career.
14
No,
and
like,
7.
he's got 2 playoff wins.
Yeah,
Right.
But his whole
full
playoff career, so I guess he's 2-5 in the playoffs.
Right.
Yeah, that's
bad.
that's
Oh,
trash.
that's what happens when
Well,
you get those 7 picks.
Kirk is what?
Well,
What
14
would you say?
touchdowns too.
Kirk was 1 in
He
5.
also-
But like $230 million made 1 playoff game.
Yo, he-
or 100 a
I
future
forgot about
a future
this game.
fucking $300 million guy to win 2 playoff games.
Yeah. NFC wildcard game in 2023. Dak threw 305 yards, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions, 143.
That was the
quarterback
Buck
rating.
game.
San
Yes,
Fran.
against the Bucks. He
Yeah.
balled
is it?
out.
Oh.
Didn't they lose that game? Didn't they blow that game? Didn't Brady
Yeah.
come back late? Yeah.
Yeah.
But he balled out.
Don't matter.
Yeah.
Ball out enough.
No,
Didn't it just say he won? NFC wildcard W.
Oh, they did win.
They won that game. So that's one of his wins. And then
The other one was against
Seattle in
Seattle.
2019. It's terrible. It's terrible. 60 passes in the wild card last year.
Because they went down so much early.
Yeah.
3-2.
All right. What's the next topic?
I don't know. Where's the thing?
I have it. I think it's how the first round of fantasy draft should go.
Did we have to do that last week?
No, like how your first round should go. Like let's
Where
do
the
1
fuck-
through 12.
Oh.
I don't know where you. Oh, here it is.
It's there.
Jesus, I have no idea how computers work.
You got soft hands.
Yeah. I
soft
mean-
hands.
So I don't know. I was just a segment that Caps Off did that was did
Kinda
well.
like-
Was good.
you're gonna steal
It's just, people just like fantasy. I mean, this is kind of like the last we'll probably talk about fantasy for a while.
Yeah.
Because everyone is drafting like the week the season starts in a week and a half. So everyone's drafting.
I feel like we're kind of late this year. Like I feel like everybody I'm talking to is like drafting, like is either already drafted or drafting this
it's
week.
better to draft late in fantasy.
I'm in two
Yeah.
other leagues that already drafted.
Drafting early
Yeah.
in fantasy is never a good idea because of the injuries that come. Obviously,
like you were
it doesn't always
saying,
happen, but
after like you got to draft after the final rosters are made because guys are getting dropped, picked up. Like I'm not saying these are like crucial picks, but like you're figuring out like guys like Luke McCaffrey or somebody like that is like he's gonna
did
be
he make a roster?
he's gonna be like a starter in Washington. They're saying he's gonna be one of the like,
Running, he's a receiver.
he's a
right?
receiver, so they're
But-
saying like
but
he
I'll
might
say-
be like
I
the
was
2
in
or
a
3.
10-man, so they don't even.
Right, but I'm saying like
come into play.
those are guys that might now get thought about in the later rounds and
True.
stuff like that, or like other guys that are. I mean, the final rosters I'm saying are really most important, like to see where guys are on the depth chart. The big thing was Blake Corum.
Yeah.
Like Blake Corum is his stock has skyrocketed because they're saying Kyron Williams is going to return punts.
I don't think that makes any difference. I love Kyron Williams for fantasy.
Right, but, like,
Sean McVay
why-
loves Kyron Williams.
why would-
He's a dog.
But like to me, you don't make your starting running back a punt returner. Like that's asking for
But
trouble.
I think I saw a stat that the Rams the whole entire season last year returned like 28 punts or something. Most of them are just fair catches at this point.
Well,
But
then, like stick a wide receiver back there to just catch.
I agree.
I'm
think it's weird,
sticking some
but-
schmuck back there, like
Yeah.
because those 28 returns, he can get fucking lit
Yeah.
up.
But the thing is, to me, why I think it's really important to not draft early and wait as long as you can for fantasy draft. AJ Dillon, example. He just got hurt out for the season. Now, Josh Jacobs, his value is just skyrocketed, because he's gonna be that workhorse back, which he might not have been. He might not have had those goal line touches with AJ Dillon there, but now he has them. It's like, oh, all of a sudden he's like a much more valuable player
Yeah.
to pick.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
something like that. I think there was another guy who got hurt for the season. Oh, Elijah Mitchell. Like, example.
Yeah.
I drafted Elijah Mitchell in my early draft.
As like a
Fortunate-
handcuff.
Yeah, as a handcuff for CMC. I don't have CMC.
Absolutely.
But fortunately, I was able to get Jordan Mason.
Yeah.
But, like, if you're making that pick and someone else picks up Jordan Mason, you wasted
Yeah,
a
like-
decent
Is he-
pick on
is he
Christian
done for the year?
McCaffrey. Yeah, he's out.
Yeah, he's out for the year.
You
Guy
wasted
like
a good pick. Not a good pick, but a mid-late round pick on
Right.
Elijah Mitchell.
or like there's
He's not
the
even
people
playing.
like if you're sitting there thinking like a guy like Zeke too.
Yeah. I
Like people
drafted
were like,
Zeke.
oh,
I only
Zeke,
done
like
one
Zeke,
draft.
Zeke is like a late round running back, and now they just added Dalvin Cook. Granted, Dalvin Cook is
sucks.
ass. He's fucking horrible. I don't know what kind of value people think he has, but if he steals kind of touches and anything away from a
Anything,
guy,
it lowers Rico Dowdle. I liked him.
yeah, I don't know.
Rico Dowdle,
I didn't
I think
understand.
they just have him there as like a security blanket. There's
I
no
mean,
way
listen.
he got signed coming. I don't know what his
Right,
contract
but like
was.
all the hype, all
He
the
didn't play
hype.
on the Jets last year.
God, he fucking sucked. He was so bad. But like all the hype is now, it's like, oh, we got the 1-2 punch now, Zeke and Dalvin, where it's like
I
if
think
he-
Rico Dowdle's going to prove pretty quickly he's better than Dalvin.
I'm
Cook.
sure, but like if they're gonna give the veteran guy like some touches over him, and like you're saying, that decreases Dowdle. It also decreases Zeke
Yeah,
because
if
if
anything,
he's losing out on touches.
That's
yeah.
just the benefit.
To
of
be
waiting.
honest, if anything, the Cook pickup is just to take early season touches away from Dowdle
Yeah.
and Zeke, so they're healthier when the playoffs do come around.
Right, but it's also like those
That doesn't
those
help anybody in fantasy, but
Well, sure it does. Those early season wins and losses that make or break your season. Every game
right.
counts.
No, I know. I'm saying it doesn't help. It doesn't. Like,
I think you said
Yeah.
it doesn't hurt like your fantasy season.
I can't find his contract.
who?
1-year contract. I
Cook?
want to see how much they gave Dalvin Cook. The
Probably,
Jets
probably
gave
the,
him
the
oh
vets,
my
the veteran.
God,
He probably got
last
the
year.
veteran minimum.
just doesn't say anything. I'm assuming that's what he got.
Gotta
Dog,
be
it's
after
probably,
last year.
it's
Gotta
probably
be the
1
vet.
year, 2
He
and a
was
half.
racing. He was doing an 800-meter race in Miami with Better Derek, the kid from Jake Paul's gambling company. That kid who just gambles online.
Yeah.
He's like a skinny kid who screams all the time.
Yeah,
beat
He
him?
was
I know who you're
racing.
talking
No,
about.
he lost. Obviously, it's a 2-lap race. This kid's
You
skinny.
saw-
Dalvin Cook is a beast.
Yeah,
Like,
you
he had
saw
no
what's his
chance.
name? LaShawn McCoy lost a 40-yard dash to Aaron Donald.
Yeah, I mean Aaron.
That's not surprising.
But, like,
Sean
LaShawn-
he's way past his
yeah,
prime.
LaShawn McCoy's been out of it for a while.
Aaron Donald's still a fucking
All right, so what are we
dog.
talking?
I just want to make
How your
sure
first
this is
round
going.
should go.
How our first round should go.
Yeah.
I think it's just like
Well, I think let's just.
I like this topic. They went right off the bat CMC, and I don't know CMC. It
Bro,
might now with this new
stop
contract. No, if CD's
let's
locked
let's
in.
intro it for the clip. Let's intro it for the clip.
All right,
We gotta do that.
all right, all
We
right.
gotta get these clips so
Gotta
people
get-
start listening to the whole episode.
And
They get the full
it's all about the
experience.
YouTube views.
All right, hurry up.
Yeah.
Can you believe 100 people listen to this on YouTube?
I wouldn't even listen to it.
I don't listen to it.
Dude, we got that one episode we did about Aaron Rodgers got like 140 views.
A full episode.
Yes.
They watched us for a talk for an hour.
Not everyone, but people. People
you could-
clicked
you
that.
could
I
see
could see
how
the watch
long
time.
they- yeah.
I promise you, it wasn't that much watch time, but like it was not bad.
Yeah.
All right, let's get the clip.
All right, so this is how your first round fantasy draft should go. Full point PPR 12-man league.
Yeah,
That's what
sure.
we're gonna do, right? I don't know. I think CMC. If you have that first pick, not taking CMC, I understand. Look, I don't think any running back has ever gone back to, or any player has ever gone back to back number one overall fantasy player since like maybe like Todd Gurley or something in his like prime or something like that. But if you have that, he's fully healthy. Elijah Mitchell's out. That offensive line is good. Like, dude, I don't see how you can pass on CMC. Like, I understand, like, there's a good chance he doesn't, but if you're going upside, he's Christian McCaffrey.
I mean, I'm just gonna be the guy. I'd go CeeDee Lamb, but
If you're going to tell me anyone but Christian McCaffrey, CeeDee Lamb's that guy.
yeah, I mean, now that he's got the contract, all questions are done. Like he's gonna be showing up. Like
Dak's in a contract year.
Yeah, Dak's in a contract year. Like I think that he's going to continue getting that high volume. And honestly, there's something in the back of my mind where it's just like maybe we've been giving too much to McCaffrey. So it's like maybe and I get it, like Mitchell's hurt or whatever, but they'll find somebody like you're saying. We said it earlier, like they're a plug and play offense, and I know it runs through McCaffrey, but they're gonna have to dial some of him back, just in my mind, just to continuously keep him healthy. And I don't think you do that with you don't need to do that with CeeDee Lamb. Like wide receivers don't have like that kind of
I mean, CeeDee
like,
Lamb is he's.
Yeah.
I think he's the best receiver.
I mean,
in football.
I just think McCaffrey might have some dialed back games where it's like, all right, like we're gonna have to feed something else just to kind of keep him healthy for longevity purposes. That's why I'm going CD.
Sam?
It's McCaffrey. It's McCaffrey. I mean, there's no other way around it. He's one of the best running backs of all time in my eyes. I mean, he catches the ball better than probably any other running back has in the NFL history. He can go off 1,400 yards rushing if they really let him.
His top season, like you're saying, best running back, like his top seasons are unbelievable.
Yeah, like I mean, the only person that's close to it in top seasons are probably like Marshall Faulk in 2000, LaDainian Tomlinson when he had 25 touchdowns. There's no other.
Like
Todd
Sean
Gurley was crazy.
Yeah,
Sean
like peak Todd
Alexander.
Gurley. Yeah,
What did
Sean
Johnson had
Alexander.
that one
What did Sean
season.
Alexander have, like 28 tutties that one year? Like
Insane.
he had 1 year where he broke the record for rushing touchdowns in a year, and it was
It
was insane.
He was. I mean, I know he's second now. I don't know if it happened before or after LaDainian, but LaDainian has the most touchdowns in a single season.
All right, so Burks overruled. McCaffrey's first pick. Second pick, I'm good for CD at 2. I think if you're not taking Christian McCaffrey, CD Lamb has to be
27.
the first wide receiver off the board.
I guess it's overruled 2-1 because I think it's Brees Hall.
You think it's Brees?
I think all three running backs should go 1, 2, 3.
1, 2. I'm going to disagree with that one
Dual
too.
threat,
but,
dual threat
I mean,
running backs are the most valuable thing
CD
you can have in
has to be in
fantasy.
top
I think 1-2's got to be. It's got to be CD to McCaffrey.
Yeah, it's one of the two.
I
It's
think
one
it's
of the
got to
two.
be,
I'm with
and
that
then it's got to be,
100%.
and then I'm going Brees Hall.
Yeah.
I'm saying Brees Hall over Bijan.
My case, I think it's Brees Hall over Bijan too. My case is a dual threat running back is the most valuable player you can have in a fantasy football season. If you look at all the top players, it's guys like McCaffrey, Le'Veon Bell, David Johnson, Todd Gurley, Sean Alexander, LaDainian Tomlinson, Marshall Faulk. It's all of those guys who could do everything.
You were playing fantasy with Marshall Faulk?
Oh, yeah.
It's crazy. Like you
Bro
got
didn't
that.
have a phone when Marshall Faulk was playing football. He didn't have
But
a
he was
phone.
5 years old. Like
I
sitting there
see
being
the
like,
argument for Brees. I think it's not crazy. If you told me Brees was going to have 1,000 yards rushing and 1,000 yards receiving, I would be like, okay, sure. Like,
Yeah.
If he stays healthy.
Look, I don't think he's going to do that, but my point is that he had the second most yards from scrimmage outside of McCaffrey last year, and now you're adding a better offensive line, Aaron Rodgers throwing the football, and you got to imagine that he's just going to be even better.
I think that might be the only downfall is why I would say like maybe CeeDee kind of takes the cake at like 1 or 2 is because now you have Aaron Rodgers throwing the ball, so now they can throw the ball 30 times a game. Like
Right,
you
so,
can't,
but doesn't
you can't
that-
throw the ball 30 times a game with Zach, right? But it's not going to be 10 targets to Brees. It's
All right,
going to be
now-
10 targets to Garrett. It's going to be 5 to Lazard, and it's going to be like 5 to 7 to Brees. But it's still, I think it's still like going to be 20, 25 touches to Brees. Absolutely.
Granted. Then you got to think, all right, the defense definitely has to back off now. He's not going to see loaded boxes every game. He's not going to have to get, a 3rd and 17 screen pass just to get the first down, and then he gets all of those points added on from that.
All right, guys, it's 2nd and 10. We're going to run this draw play.
All right.
Exactly.
all right. Brees Hall 3. We got to go 4. Who's 4?
Bijan.
Bijan 4? You're taking Bijan over Tyreek Hill and Amon-Ra?
Yes.
To me, those 3 are a toss-up. To pass
I
on
would still-
Tyreek or
I would
Amon-Ra
take
over
Hill, too.
Bijan, who's still unproven, is tough.
I'm taking Tyreek, yeah, just because like it's a new offense and you have Kirk Cousins. Once again, it's the same thing. Like they can now throw the ball 30 somewhat times a game, so it's like now you have a guy that can actually complete passes, complete them down the field, and I think it opens up the offense for Bijan. But I don't know, like we still haven't seen him be like a total workhorse because last year they just didn't let him.
And they also still do
So-
have Tyler Algier. They have Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
They have Kyle Pitts. They have Drake London. They've got some good offensive
but
talent.
even so,
I see
like-
again, like you're just
I-
you're in
I-
on running back. You're going
I don't-
RB this
Yeah.
year.
it's just RB.
I
And
don't know. Like I don't think any of these points are wrong. Like
No, it's all subjective at the end of
If
the day.
if you took Bijan with your 3rd or 4th overall pick or 3rd overall pick, like no one's gonna sit there and be like, "You fucking idiot!" Like, everyone's just gonna be like, you just preferred Bijan over Hill. Like I don't think any of this is wrong. I think now, like once you get past the Bijan and Tyreek Hill, like
Then
once
it gets
you,
easier.
I don't know. I think it gets a
So
little
let's
harder.
say yes and no. But so let's say all right. So we put Tyreek at 4, Bijan at 5.
Sure,
Bijan at 5 makes sense to
a
me.
lot of those are interchangeable.
Then
sure.
at 6, things you're right. They do kind of get interesting. To me, at 6, I'm 100% going Amon-Ra. I think he's proven. He's done it for multiple years in
think,
that
yeah.
offense. I don't think you can. If
yeah.
he's there at 6,
I think
you got
because like his targets don't change. So I mean,
No,
like
that offense
he's gonna get 120 targets.
Yeah,
Like
and
he has
after
to.
that, I
he
think
has
it
to in that offense.
Yeah.
After 6, I think it really does get interesting.
Yeah.
Because Jamar Chase, we don't know if he's going to even play this year. Jefferson has Sam Darnold throwing to him.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've got these kind of guys like, okay, John Taylor could be great, always injured. Saquon Barkley could be great.
Hey,
His quarterback steals every goal line touchdown.
And AJ Brown, honestly, like fantasy wise, is a tad bit overrated.
I had him 2 straight years. Dude,
He had an amazing year
I-
last year.
I
He was
loved him.
cold
But,
the
like,
last
I-
7
I-
years.
Where
I
it's
loved
like,
him.
but like he I'm not saying he's boom or bust, but like I do feel like he gets like a game or 2 stretch where he just like kind of goes cold. But like I'm not saying I shouldn't say overrated, but I would say like Garrett Wilson above him. I would even say Puka like a little bit above him, just because I think like their volume might be higher. I like fucking what's his name? Smith. I think they're gonna give Smith like a big increased role just because he's really kind of proven himself over these past couple of years.
At 7, I don't know. For me personally, I would say Jefferson. I think it's hard to pass on him because he still probably is.
If Jamar plays, I'm going Jamar though.
It's- yeah.
Just
It's Jamar,
because
you think?
It's Jamar.
just-
The
I'm not
connection,
mad
the
about
connection,
that.
the connection with him and Joe is too elite.
I'm just
He's
going off
proven
quarter-
himself
yeah.
year
It's
in
just-
and
it's
year
Did
out.
they
quarterback
improve
play.
their offensive line though?
Probably not.
Does it make a difference? He's
Well,
proven to do it regardless of the
100%.
offensive
If
line.
if they had an elite
Super Bowl
offensive-
without it would be.
If the
It'd be
Bengals had
nice.
an elite offensive line for Joe Burrow and they
Yeah.
had T. Higgins and Jamar Chase, that offense
Yeah.
would be the
It
best
would
in the
be,
league.
but it doesn't really seem like they care about him that much.
Nope. So 7 Jamar Chase, I'm cool with that.
I'd
8
go 8 Jettas.
Jettas.
Yeah.
I like Taylor.
Really?
I'm
You're a
just-
running back guy this year.
I mean, I've pretty much always been a running back guy ever since Megatron left the league.
Do you think that Justin Jefferson's fall off will be that severe with Sam Darnold? Because
No,
I don't think it will.
like-
DJ Moore was good with Sam Darnold in Carolina, and that team was terrible. And DJ Moore is not Justin Jefferson.
I'm just flipping them. After
flip them?
Yeah. After Jonathan Taylor, then you go Jettas. Then I think it should probably go Saquon Garrett.
All right, so if me and Burke are saying Jettas, is that 8? Jettas 8, then JT 9?
I could agree with him saying JT 8, Jettas 9. Just like if you like the running back drop off is tough because after you get outside those 5 running backs, it drops, or it's like where wide receivers, like we've already talked like 4 or 5 wide receivers, and we're still getting into the Garrett Wilsons, the Puka Nakuas, the Cooper Cups, you know, like
Devontae
Adams. Like we still have like talent, like on top of talent.
So JT 8, Jettas 9?
Yeah.
Jettas 9.
I think Garrett Wilson at 10 makes a lot of sense.
I'm still saying Garrett above Saquon.
Yeah, me too.
I'm cool with Garrett at 10. I just think that he legit has he could be the best player in fantasy this year if he stays healthy, the offensive line stays healthy, and obviously Aaron Rodgers stays healthy. A lot of ifs.
Eagles
but
running
he
backs
has that potential to break out this year.
Eagles running backs get fucking hosed.
Yeah, that's
drafted Eagles running back past 2 years, 1,000-yard seasons, like 4 touchdowns rushing because Jalen Hurts, most selfish man in the league.
Yeah, I'm not down on Saquon as a talent. I'm down on him in that offense because it makes sense. Like
a lot of mouths, and the tush push.
Tush push works. Like it works every time. I can't blame the coaching for that, but if you're talking fantasy, like it's gonna take away touchdowns.
Two stud receivers, Dallas Goedert, like Jalen Hurts is a running QB, like that takes stuff away from Saquon.
Yeah, that offense is gonna be insane.
Garrett Wilson. And
I'm good on him in the first round.
The drop off of talent after Garrett Wilson, like I don't know if he can catch really still, and then we have to see how Mike Williams is. Like Mike Williams,
they just cleared him for week 1.
They cleared him, but like he's gonna be on a limited role. They said he's gonna be like a Brees like workload where they're just gonna slowly work him into the offense. So I would say if we're gonna go Jettas, Garrett Wilson, Saquon, that rounds out the top 10.
No, Garrett's the 10.
Yeah.
JT's 8.
No, we
switched them. You guys said JT 8, Jettas 9.
Garrett 10, and then Saquon 11.
I would go Jahmyr Gibbs over Saquon.
Ooh, that's a good combo.
He's kind of right there.
That's a really good combo, but I think 11-12 would be Gibbs Saquon. No?
Yeah, either way. You could flip him either way you want. I personally would go Gibbs, but yeah, either one makes no difference.
I know I just said about how like he gets hosed, but it's a split system of running backs in Detroit where it's just Saquon in Philly.
But after a certain week, I don't know what that week was. The end of the season, Gibbs really kind of took over.
Yeah, I understand, but it's still like
if you're going upside, I think that Jahmyr Gibbs is upside. If you can't go wrong with either, though, I think Saquon's gonna have a really good year.
Any outsiders? Like, do we think like?
I still love Kyren Williams. I know a lot of people.
The Kyren Williams thing, like
he was so good.
I don't see how the punt returning. I can see how in the back of people's minds being like he's returning punts. Like why would I take him? But like he's a really good talent.
I saw someone like some TikTok and it was like an ESPN thing. They tweeted something like, "Where are you drafting him now?" And there were people who were saying like, "I wouldn't draft him," or like 6th round. I was like, because he's punt returning. Like, did you watch football last year? The dude was insane all year. He's just like he's just an elite running back in my opinion. But
that's a really good offense that's just gonna benefit from having a really good running back, and I think they're gonna feed him because there's only so many bullets in Stafford's arm left too.
Yeah, once you get to that wraparound option, it really depends on what position you value, who you draft in the first round, and if the bye weeks line up. That's it.
I don't know why Chris Olave is so high on everyone's board. His system, not him as a talent, but Derek Carr is washed up.
Trash.
Their system their like situation didn't get any better. If anything, it got worse because they're older.
Yeah, I'm
out on him.
The only Devontae Adams though, like bad quarterback play. Michael Pittman just
don't trust Anthony Richardson yet.
Yeah, like that's
Marvin Harrison Jr. Honestly,
I would
Marv. Take him over.
I love Marv.
Drake London, I think, should be higher. I think Drake
London should be lower.
I think I agree.
Yeah, I think Bijan's going to be they're just going to abuse him. They're going to treat him like Le'Veon Bell. He's going to get 300 touches.
Well, you think
they finally figure out Kyle Pitts.
You would take like a Pittman or like an Olave above London.
They're all in.
That's what I'm saying. Like those are the guys that are ahead of him.
Like for a second,
even like Devontae Adams, even with a bad QB play, is still going to get 80+ catches.
I'll tell you exactly right now.
I'm not taking Pittman.
All right, you guys are good.
I'm not
so
taking
look-
Pittman or Olave above Drake London.
based on the first round that we said, AJ Brown and Puka both fall out of the first round. So AJ,
Yes.
Puka.
Garrett's
I would
in.
take Devontae over Drake London. I'm taking Moore over Drake London. I think probably.
I'm saying I would say the only two guys would be Olave and Pittman. I wouldn't take over Drake London. Like, I would drop those guys below Drake London based off of just I don't trust Derek Carr at all, and like you're saying, that system,
Yeah,
and I'm not sure what you're gonna get out of Anthony Richardson, a running QB, and you don't know how good of a passer he can be.
To be honest,
Drake London has the best situation out of those three.
This
by
is
far.
really his rookie season, so
Yeah.
like you're gonna have to see what you can really get out of Anthony Richardson.
So
How-
hold on 1 second. To be honest with you, based on who you drafted in the first round, once you get to this number, like that 18 through 24, when those top picks are coming back and most of them are running backs,
Yeah.
you could even double up and you could go with Derrick Henry or Rashad White. And just push them even further down and not have to worry about it and hope
Absolutely.
they come
Derrick
back to you.
Henry could easily be the running back one. We have not talked about him at all, but
Yeah.
in that offense,
Dude, I think he's
there is
gonna
a
be
chance
great.
that he does, and
honestly-
it's just going to look so funny that
And
none of us are talking about him in like our top 8 running backs,
very
and then he comes out of
undervalued
nowhere and
part-
just is King Henry.
A very undervalued part is in Tennessee. Like, he caught a lot of he wasn't running like routes, but he was catching a lot of like swing passes and screen passes that he would take for yards. You get him in space with 2 fucking linemen in front of
Yeah.
him, he's getting 10, 15 yards.
That offense is going
Like,
to be insane this
yeah,
year. I think
he's-
Zay Flowers takes a jump. He's another one after the catch, bro. He's so explosive.
Yeah.
And then obviously Lamar, like you have to like be aware of Lamar taking off at
Where's
any
Zay
time.
Flowers on this list? He's down,
pretty
huh?
low.
Zay is like 43, I think.
There's a lot of people saying that
he-
they don't think he'll keep up what he was
47.
doing because Mark Andrews is back, but I just don't.
But
think
you're
that's
saying,
accurate.
like-
there's plenty of mouths to feed on that offense.
Like, there's like Jalen Waddle's on number 2 ahead of him.
So let me say this.
Laporta, who's a tight end, is ahead of him.
people are drafting Laporta so high, and I like Laporta, but
I think
he got a little bit lucky with touchdowns last year.
Yeah, he was a
I don't
touchdown
think
machine.
he's replicating
Yeah.
that.
I don't
With
know.
that in that offense, Jamison Williams I think has a better year. He's fully healthy in the offense.
Even Joe Mixon, like
Joe Mixon's a little too high.
I think Joe Mixon's a little high at 30.
But the problem is that after that, he should probably be lower than Kenneth Walker and obviously Josh Jacobs now with the injury.
Yeah, but I'm saying like I would
And
like
Devon
he's
Achane.
lower than Josh Allen in my eyes. He's lower than Travis Kelce in my like I value those guys more than I would value a Joe Mixon.
The Cooper Cup disrespect in these rankings is crazy.
I think it's right.
I still think they're gonna feed Puka
100%, but like he's still Cooper Cup, and Matt Stafford throws the ball
He does.
a lot.
He does love him.
And
some
it's
Cooper.
like he still loves Cooper Cup, so it's like, is he going to be the same Cooper Cup? Probably not.
But, like, but
I
if
could
you look
see
at
him
the
in full point
receivers right
PPR
there-
averaging 18 a game, though.
If you look at the receivers right there, who are you taking over him?
Who?
I mean, who are you going to take him over? Out of
want
the
me to be
receivers out of there,
honest?
yeah.
I would take him.
I would take him over Malik Neighbors. I would take him over DK Metcalf.
I'm not taking him over DK. DK
Well,
is
he's not-
DK is the bona fide number 1 in Seattle.
He's got-
I'd take him
They're all ahead of
over.
Where is he? Cooper Cup? I would take him over Stephon Diggs.
He's not over Malik. Is he over Malik Neighbors?
Yeah, no, Malik Neighbors is like
Malik Neighbors
28.
is up here, bro. It's crazy.
That's a little crazy.
It's nothing against Malik Neighbors.
He
It's
just has
his
a
quarterback,
retard throwing
It's
to him, you know?
It's that. Like, there are a lot of guys up here who I would...
I would even say Debo,
Cooper
just
Kupp.
because Debo's an injury factor.
Yeah. But also, it's just like,
But I guess
it's
so
just
is he.
because it's
He's
not only
an
that's
injury
like...
factor too, so I guess that's not
Yeah.
really a good argument.
We know Cooper Cup, what he can do with Matt
Yeah.
Stafford, and he's not that far from it. Like, he was injured the past 2 seasons. The reports are he's fully healthy. It wouldn't surprise me if he has another top 10 year, honestly.
Especially like he doesn't have to just be like he's saying like taking all the
No,
fucking
'cause they
like
have
Brunt
Puka now,
Force.
and then they have
Puka.
Kyron, and they have Blake Corum. Like, they've got guys around
Yeah.
them to space the, to open the field
Mhm.
up.
What do you think is the best draft slot this year?
You know what's funny?
I have 8, and I think I'm loving the 8 because it's 8 and 5 in a snake draft. So I think that's like a good space to have.
I was doing some mock draft. You could do
So
this on
I'm
ESPN now.
literally just about to
Yeah.
do it right now.
I was doing it
So
on-
you said 8?
Yeah, it's 8
So if
then
you
5.
claim it right now and then you just start it.
So
So if you just let it run through it, see who you get at 8. And I know what you're going to say, Raleigh. You have to have a league, and then it'll say practice draft. So like in this obviously isn't going to happen, but
I
Brees
could
Hall
get
fell.
Well, yeah, but our league also Brees is a Brees is a keeper.
Well, yeah, but not even our league. We're just saying in general leagues.
I thought it was 8 and... Oh, this is a 10-man league. That's why.
Oh, it's set
I
for
would've
10
had-
man.
Yeah, you got to. So wait, yo, while we're on the topic of this, let me read you guys my team. I did a mock draft 12 teamer on Sleeper, and I had the 7th pick.
Okay.
So with the 7th pick, I got Brees Hall. He fell to me at 7. I was like, let's go.
I feel like that's tough.
So tough. But I'm not going to go in order for the next one. So I have Brees Hall as my starting running back. Kyron Williams is my RB2. Cooper Kupp is my wide receiver 1. Zay Flowers wide receiver 2. I got Njoku at my tight end. Alvin Kamara running back in my flex. Then I have Rashee Rice, Jake Elliott, Chiefs defense.
I'm liking the Rashee Rice because
100%.
I mean Hollywood Brown is boom or bust.
And I got Jordan Love at QB. I went late for QB, but I figured Jordan Love was...
Big Jordan Love fan. I think he's going to throw 30 touchdowns this year.
Guess my backup is good old Kirk.
Kirk, baby.
Grabbed Mike Williams in the 12th round.
Let me tell you
I
something.
don't know how I feel about Rashee Rice this year.
I think where he's going, like in this mock draft, obviously it's against computers, but it's
7th
based
round.
on ranking. Got him in the middle of the 6th round. Like to me, like
Wait, can you still see the draft board?
Yeah, it shows him exactly
no,
where
I
he
can
drafted.
actually go into the draft board.
Pull up the whole draft board. Who'd you pick over him? Who
did
went
I pick?
afterwards? Who'd you pick him over?
Who's the rest of the round looking like?
Let me see.
Like, who could you have taken other than Rashee Rice?
Where's Rashee Rice ranked?
But listen, I got him. These are the guys
80?
who went after him.
69. So here are the other guys like
Yeah. Do you want to know
Terry,
in this
Njigba.
draft? Here's the players.
I'm taking Christian Kirk over him.
Well, Christian Kirk actually went the pick before.
I would take Brian Robinson.
Christian Kirk went
I'd
the pick
take
before.
if I need a tight end, I'd take any one of Kincaid, Pitts, or Kittle before him.
I don't know about
Pitts
Kittle.
also went before him. Kittle went before him too. These are the guys who went right after him. Aaron Jones.
I'd take Javonte Williams over him.
Aaron Jones, Najee Harris.
I don't know
Terry.
about Javonte Williams.
They got a
Dave
rookie. They got a
Montgomery.
rookie quarterback. They're gonna have to run the hell out of that
Bo
ball.
Nick's about to sling that fucker. He
Wait,
about to
Bo
sling
Nix is on what? The
Denver.
Broncos.
Denver, he's
He
a starter,
said he
right?
would take Javonte Williams over him.
I would take
Denver
Javonte
running
in the
back.
You had
flex.
Javonte Williams. Javonte Williams has just never.
He
had
got
a
banged.
full flex.
He got hurt last year, no?
He got hurt, but he came back.
I don't want anyone in that offense. I'm staying away from the Denver offense.
I mean,
don't-
I
don't
am
know
too,
if,
but
I
I
don't
mean,
know if I would take Christian Kirk. He's never really been a number one.
I had him last year in our league.
But
And my
now
team
he-
was obviously terrible.
Terry,
but he was good.
I would take Terry over him.
Over Rashee.
Yeah,
yeah.
Terry
I
went
would
right
take
after.
Terry.
Like if
I'm-
you think of all the weapons that they have in Kansas City now, between
Brian Robinson, I'd take Pitts if I need a tight end.
Yeah,
I
like
would take.
Pitts went before him.
dude between Kelsey, Worthy, Hollywood, Pacheco, and then Rashee Rice, there's only so many plays in the game.
I just think the one thing is like.
And
there's
Rashee
a
didn't
chance
come on
that-
until late in the
There's a chance
season.
that him and we've seen success for him already in his rookie year with Mahomes, and it's like where you're gonna get him if you're getting him 6 or 7 mid-6th round in a 12-man league. That's not a high pick. You know.
Yeah, but
at
he's-
that point you're kind of throwing darts at the board. You're hoping that you hit a bullseye.
right, but if
So
you
for
could,
upside, like it's good.
but Raleigh, if you could choose between a guy who you know is the number one option in Jacksonville or Washington as your flex option, and then going with Rashee Rice, who's clearly at the very minimum, I mean at the very
No, I
maximum, the
think
number
it's-
two,
I think it's
you got to
close,
go with the
but-
number
But like,
one
think
option.
about what he's saying.
When
though.
I
Like
picked
in
him,
the,
though,
in the
I already
middle of
had
the,
my 2 receivers, and I had 2 flex guys above him. So he was literally
in the
he's
in
just
the
a bench
middle,
piece.
but like the middle of the 6th round, this pick what 78 or like if this is having him ranked at 69, he's actually getting him for a decent pick.
Yeah, but Sleeper might have different rankings. But regardless of that, it's just tough to me.
Who was drafted in front of him in that round?
Right in front of him was Calvin Ridley, Dak, Odunze, Pitts, Keenan Allen, Christian Kirk. And then right after him was Aaron Jones.
And would you take a Dunze over him?
No.
No, Najee Harris. The only one I will see looking back on it that did, Terry and T. Higgins went after him. Outside
See,
of
that
that,
shouldn't happen.
outside of that, there's really no.
I can't
there's
say
no one
I
that
can't
I would
say
take.
Terry. I
below
can't
him.
say Terry shouldn't happen. T. Higgins maybe.
T. Higgins.
No, because Terry's the clear number one.
I know, but I've
Right,
had Terry
but-
in fantasy way too many
Yeah,
times.
I had Terry-
Jaden
I had
And now,
Terry
and now
last
he has the
year.
best
Great.
quarterback option that he's had since he's been
I know,
a
but
fantasy
Jaden
option.
Daniels, he still hasn't thrown a
Not
pass
wrong.
in the NFL, so it's
True.
like you're a little gambling. A little
Running
bit.
quarterback
I
too.
don't think you can go wrong with it, but to
No.
me, like
I'm not saying
I don't
I'm
mind the
not-
upside of having Patrick
Once again, I'm
Mahomes
not.
throwing
I'm
the
not
ball.
saying that's wrong. I'm just saying like you can't just be like you can't just throw it out like being like oh Terry is clearly going to be better than Rashee Rice when he has the best QB in the league and, and
Exactly.
compared
You
to a
have
rookie
to go.
QB.
You have to go based off of how many opportunities they're going to get as a player and where the playbook is drawn up for them. You know Terry's going to get plays drawn up for him. You don't know if that's going to happen for Rashee Rice when you have, Travis Kelce has half the playbook done for him. They're going to want to run the football more.
Last year, it wasn't as much like that. Like they were spreading the ball pretty nicely. And I think now that they know that, but even
Kelce was banged up last year.
But even when he came back, like he was, they were spreading the ball nicely. I think they kind of figured out that they can spread the ball and play without Kelce a little bit,
and now you add Xavier Worthy to the
let's
mix.
see. Patty Mahomes has thrown the ball 30 to 35 times conservatively. Like you could easily.
Rashee Rice is getting 6 targets.
Oh,
probably 7 or 8.
I think that's a little
If
low.
he hauls in 5 for 65 and a touchdown, you never know.
That's not a good. That's your flex receiver or your bench receiver.
He's a bench receiver.
Add it up. So he throw. He's going to throw more than that. Hold on.
Arguing over the bench.
A flex replacement.
Let's just say 35 times Pat's on the ball. Kelsey's getting at 12 targets. Okay, you got 23 left.
They're going to throw. Kelsey gets 3 targets.
Super high.
Last year we saw.
Fine, 10. You got
I'm
25
not saying you're
left.
wrong. I'm just saying it's just like there's no.
You don't think your number one receiver is getting 7 to 9 of those?
He's not. I don't think he's the number one.
I think he is. Who else would it be?
Xavier Worthy. Why would they have drafted him that high?
I mean,
because to
guy who's never played a snap.
To be the other outside receiver, I think you have him was
Rice probably
Rice
more of
and
a
Worthy,
flat,
and then
slot.
I would say Hollywood more in the slot now.
Well, he's a speedster, no? Maybe on the outside. That's the thing. They're kind of versatile receivers.
I don't know. For a bench guy, I think Rashee Rice is a fine pick.
To me, he's an upside swing.
Pick number 78, Rashee Rice. I think
we're complaining. He was taking over better options.
There was 2 that you could argue for sure.
Maybe.
You guys
only time will tell.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, let's do this. You want to build?
Yeah, I don't really give a fuck about AJ Dillon. I'm not gonna lie to you.
We kind of talked about it already.
Yeah, who cares about a backup running back being hurt?
So let's do this. Let's do building an AFC East super team. So shout out to Capsol for the idea.
Woo.
Starting at quarterback.
Stealing
Don't think
all
we can
kinds of
debate
ideas.
the quarterback. Josh Allen.
Aaron Rodgers. Josh Allen.
It's Josh.
Even as a Jets fan, it's just like Josh Allen is just he's so fucking
in my opinion,
good.
easily the second best quarterback in football.
Yeah, I mean, Joe Burrow might challenge him for it, but like his running factor, just like the way you have to plan around him in multiple phases and aspects, like he's just, if he limits the turnovers this year, he's gonna win an MVP.
Yeah,
that's all he has to do is he just limits his turnovers. He's an MVP.
Win a bunch of games too. Which
They're gonna win 9 to 10 games as long as you're a playoff team and he limits these turnovers. He'll be an MVP.
All right. So running back, I mean, Brees Hall. Obviously, you can make the argument for someone like potential upside for someone like A-Chain, but I think it's clearly Brees.
Yeah.
Wide receiver. So we're gonna take 3 wide receivers. I think we're gonna go, at least to me,
we're gonna go Reek,
Tyreek Hill,
and Garrett Wilson, and now the number
Waddle.
3
is the third Waddle.
You want to go Curtis Samuel?
No, Waddle.
Well, Buffalo has no one unless you want to make a case for Keon Coleman, which I don't think you can.
Curtis Samuel.
Who is the wide? Is KJ Osborne a wide receiver 1 on the Patriots?
Probably.
Oh, fucking hell, who the fuck cares?
They're like, it's Waddle. No receivers.
I would take fucking Lazard and
Mike
Williams.
I like it. So clearly, all right. So Garrett Wilson, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, easy. Tight end. I would say Dalton Kincaid.
I think it should be.
I mean, want to make the case for Tyler Conklin
I'm gonna make a case for Tyler Conklin. I think he's gonna have a really good fucking year. And
I like Tyler Conklin.
I think Buffalo's gonna use a lot of dual tight end sets because if Dawson Knox is in there, I think that really
All right,
diminishes.
but we're not talking about what we think they're going to do this year. It was if you can draft a team of anybody who's available. I think Kincaid's the better tight end.
Wait, are we talking or just like
no,
building a
building
team?
The best players possible. Kincaid's the best tight end in the division.
Fuck you guys. I'm still going Tyler Conklin.
We're overruling.
Hottest wife too.
Kincaid.
And he's got the hottest wife.
What about Poyers?
Poyer's not in the AFC East anymore.
Is it? Yeah, where?
No, he's
not Miami.
Oh, is he in Miami?
Yeah, he's on the Dolphins now.
Boom.
Hottest offensive fucking wife.
O-line.
Jets.
You think the Jets have the best offensive line now?
I think on paper, yeah. But I mean, Buffalo could be.
Yeah, Buffalo's the only one that you can argue.
Definitely could be right there, but I mean, you're adding Tyron Smith, Morgan Moses, the guy John Simpson, who's an elite running guard. Elijah Vera Tucker coming back. Joe Tippmann was very good at the center as a rookie last year. You're only expecting him to get better.
And
I
the
think.
Rookie. Who's the rookie that they drafted?
Oh, Olo Fashano. So even if one of those
Fashano,
guys,
yeah.
so even if Tyron Smith gets hurt, Morgan Moses has been like a staple. Like he's been healthy his whole career. Even if Tyron Smith gets hurt, like you're talking about that, you have a first rounder just coming to step right in, who they say has looked very fucking good. So
All right, so we'll go Jets offensive line, defensive line, Jets.
The Jets.
yeah,
Like the Dolphins, when it comes to this, like you could make some. The Bills,
Christian Wilkins is gone now, and he was just.
Yeah.
Bills and the Dolphins have obviously very good defenses too. The Bills, I feel like they're just getting killed. Matt Milano cannot stay on the
Can't
field.
stay
Did he get
healthy.
hurt?
But yeah, we just talk about defensive line. When you think of
Yeah.
their defensive line, Von
True.
Miller.
Well, I was-
Eddie
I
I'm
was
talking
Oliver.
defense in general, but
I would say front, like if you want like D line's a little unfair, just say front seven maybe.
yeah, front
Front
seven.
seven's still the Jets.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
'cause
like
we're gonna
I'm
go
saying,
front-
I'm
so
saying
we'll go
like
front seven and we're gonna go secondary.
Buffalo could give them like a very good run for their money front seven wise. But I think like if the Jets get Hassan Reddick playing, that front seven is
Yeah.
the
And
best.
ultimately, I don't see how he doesn't play. Why would he sit out, lose all these millions
Yeah.
of dollars, and then have to do it
I mean-
again next year?
I
Like,
mean,
it doesn't make any sense.
I mean, some guys get it in their head.
Plus,
that,
isn't Matt Milano hurt?
Matt Milano
is
just
he
got
hurt
hurt
again?
Yes.
Yeah, so you
Pretty
can't even
is
count
he
him.
out for the year again?
I don't know if he's out for the year, but I know he's hurt.
He's hurt again.
That's a
All right,
shame.
and then secondary. To me,
It's the Jets.
it's the Jets just because Sauce Gardner
Listen.
and whoever you want to have on the other end,
The
on the
entire-
other side of the cornerback is just an elite
Yeah,
cornerback.
and then Michael Carter was ranked the best nickel corner in the league. So
Yeah.
it's like you're technically
DJ Reed, Michael Carter. I
You
even
have-
think Bryce Hall's good.
I mean,
Like,
they're-
when
no,
he
Bryce
filled
Hall-
in
Bryce
last year,
Hall's
he
not
was
there.
What? They got rid of Bryce Hall?
Yeah, I think he's in. LA now.
The Chargers?
Yeah, no, the Rams.
Good
I
pickup
mean,
for them.
look,
Bryce
they're-
Hall's good, bro.
Eccles is the next
They're
option.
they're slacking a little depth wise, and then safeties aren't the greatest. But I mean, when you're
You don't
talking like
Ashton Davis?
Ashton
He's not
Davis
even
is
the starter.
he's the backup. They put
know, I'm just
Tony
joking,
Adams. Who is
because I
it?
just don't
Tony
think
Adams
he's
and Chuck
very
Clark.
good.
Yeah.
Tony Adams. I mean, Chuck Clark isn't bad. Tony Adams was hurt all last year, so like you don't really know what you'll get out of him. But I mean, when your life is a lot easier when it's you're playing in front or behind DJ
Yeah,
Reed.
I mean, we
and
saw what
Sauce.
happened. Yeah, we saw what happened with the Jets in 09 and 2010. They had Eric Smith and Jim Leonard back there.
Yeah,
I mean,
Eric Smith can't cover a fucking thing, and he looked like a fucking stud back there. So I mean,
Yeah.
Exactly.
So we got Josh Allen, Brees Hall, Tyreek Hill, Garrett Wilson, Jalen Waddle, Dalton
Kincaid.
It's
Jets
fun-
O-line, D-line, and secondary.
It's funny.
a good
Because,
ass
it's
team.
funny because like the Jets do look so good on paper,
I know.
and just knock on wood, if they stay healthy, everybody's saying they should win the division. Buffalo will still somehow be Buffalo though. So like I don't want to ever count out Buffalo. They'll still be Buffalo. Miami's defense I think is a little lacking, so I think they're gonna lose some close games and stuff. Like
That offense is still so high.
I know. Like there's going to be a lot of
You're gonna have to win
shootouts. Though.
shootouts, yeah.
There's going to be a lot of shootouts, and when you start playing like better, when they start playing better teams and like better defenses, and the shootouts stop happening, like now you're going to sit there and be like, all right, like can their defense make the right kind of stops?
Yeah.
I don't think they can. So I think it really just comes down to Buffalo and the Jets. And if, like I said, if Josh Allen limits these turnovers, he's an MVP. Like even last year, if he limited a lot of those turnovers, he was the MVP. Guy had 50 total touchdowns, or almost 50 total touchdowns, whatever it was. Like I don't know.
Cool. All right, I'm just gonna restart it, and we'll do some records, and then we'll be good. Fuck! Why must be sweating? Why is my ass like sticking to this fucking chair? Johnny Burt. No, you're good. It's just on the edge. Like you're not out of the frame. For all I know, I could be out of the frame. I don't know what it looks like.
That would be so funny. It's just like who's talking? Like they're just looking over to the side, and it's just nobody there.
It's just me. All right. God.
This is what the Dallas Cowboys record is gonna be. Bang. Why was
Bert!
that so hard?
You're a
Wasn't
star,
that,
Bert!
Wasn't that hard? Let's go.
All right. Week 1, they're at Cleveland.
That's a win.
That's a
I
win.
think Deshaun Watson is the most overrated QB going. So I think they not handle with ease, but I think they it's like a 24-14 game.
All right. Second, we got their at home New Orleans win.
Win.
Yeah.
Week 3 at home Baltimore
Loss.
Loss.
probably. Then week 4 at New York. Giants win.
Thursday night.
Win.
I think it's a nice W.
That's a big win. They're winning
Yeah.
by 25 plus.
Yeah.
Week 5, they're at Pittsburgh.
I
Night
think-
game, Sunday night game.
That's a win.
I think it's a tough win though.
It's
I
gonna
do.
be a tough win.
There's just
Pittsburgh's
something.
gonna be
There's something about
sneaky this
it's
year.
like going to Pittsburgh Sunday night. I'm saying win, but I think it might be a tougher win than they think. Like a trap game.
So right now they're 4-1 through week 5.
Mm-hmm.
Then I think they lose. They go play in Detroit.
Home against
Oh, wait,
Detroit.
they're home against
Home
Detroit.
against Detroit.
Week 6. I think that's a loss.
I think it's I would say it's a win if they're coming in that hot. I think they could beat Detroit.
I just think Detroit at home.
Yeah,
After
maybe.
let's say we're already saying they're starting off 4-1. It's the Cowboys. They're not having. It's not going to be that easy. They're going to lose a game.
I'll give you 4-2.
Yeah.
Bye week.
Bye week, but then week 8,
Getting a little tough here now.
it's getting tough. They're going to San Francisco.
Loss.
Loss.
Yeah,
Just like
loss.
that, the Cowboys are 4-3. Next week, week 9, they go to Atlanta. I think they win that game. You think they lose?
I think in
You
Atlanta.
think they lose? I think they win that game in Atlanta.
You like that?
Coming off like what?
that?
Coming off
A
two or
loss?
two or three straight losses based on what we're saying.
I think I think Kirk's gonna get hot.
What do you think?
In
I could
Atlanta.
I could definitely see a loss happening.
All right, so we'll give them a loss. Cowboys are getting screwed right now. They're 4-4. Then they're home.
Stephen A. Smith's got the biggest cowboy hat on right now.
How about them Cowboys?
Week 10, the Cowboys are home. They're playing Philadelphia. 4-25 game.
I'll give them the split. So I'll give them the win at home.
All right,
Yeah.
so they're 5-4. Then next week they're playing on Monday night. They're playing at home versus Houston, which is a tough game.
I think that's a win.
I think that's a
That's a
win
win
too.
also.
I
Yeah,
think
you get a long rest leading
I think
up to
that,
it.
and I think their defense can get some pressure on Stroud.
Yeah. Then next 2 weeks, 12 and 13, they're playing at Washington, and then they're home versus the Giants. I think those are an easy 2 wins.
I
Yeah,
think
me
those are 2
too.
wins. So what are they? They're back to 7-5. Is
I
that
think so.
It's 13 weeks in a bye, so that's
Yep.
7-5.
7-5.
Yep,
I
7-5.
Hey man,
Then first week of December, week 14, they're at home playing the Bengals on primetime.
Monday night,
Monday
Cincinnati.
night primetime at home, first week of December.
I like Cincinnati in
They're
that
playing
game.
the Bengals.
If they're gonna be coming in hot like that too, though, I don't know.
And obviously, this is assuming everybody's healthy. I think that's a good letdown game.
That's yeah. I mean, how about them Cowboys?
So you think we're gonna go loss?
Yeah.
I'm okay with a loss. Yeah.
7-6. I like a
Then
loss.
they go next week, week 15. They're at Carolina.
Yeah, let's give
Win.
that a W.
Next week, the week of Christmas, they're at home versus Tampa Bay Sunday night game.
I'm giving that
Win.
a
I'm
win.
gonna give that a win, even though Tampa. We saw what happened last year in the playoffs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Baker's throwing
Yeah.
out, but I
Then
mean,
they go to the last week of December. They go to Philadelphia. We are giving them a loss because we gave them. The
yeah,
win
we
before,
gave them the
so
home
we're
win,
split.
the away loss.
And then they got Washington at home.
Anybody keeping
Win.
up with
They're
this
gonna
record?
win. I lost track.
There we go.
It wasn't great though.
That You won, job,
all right,
Ross.
we were 7-5 after New York.
Wait, you keep track. I'll tell you because I remember what we picked. We picked.
You can go right to here. We were 7-5 after New York.
All right.
So we said loss
7
against
and 6.
Cincinnati, 7-6,
6,
9-6, 9-7, 10-7.
10-7.
I think that's a very fair record.
I think that's a realistic
10-7
record.
I
is
think
fair.
for running out
And
Zeke
Cowboy
as your
fans
number.
are not gonna like that.
They're not gonna like it. We're gonna go to that division is terrible. We're sweeping the whole. Yeah, fuck off.
They do
Well,
have
we
like
did
4.
give them-
They have 4 relatively easy wins.
I mean,
with
dog,
the-
we
I
gave
think we
them
gave them
5-1. They were
we gave-
5-1 in the division.
Well, we gave them the sweep against the Giants and
Yeah, we
the
gave them
And
5-1
that's good. We
division.
just said they split with Philly.
yeah.
We just
So-
don't think that they're going to win the primetime games against
No, against
Cincinnati.
San Fran,
and Cincinnati.
and Cincinnati, and then I
And
mean,
we gave them the win against Houston.
I think we
But we
gave
gave
them a
them-
loss in Atlanta too.
well, yeah.
But it's a road game.
But I mean, like you're also saying, like Tampa Bay beat them last year. That's a very losable game. I think we gave them the win against Atlanta, but that's also a very losable game.
No, we gave them the loss at Atlanta.
Oh, we gave them the loss in Atlanta. Okay, so we gave them the loss versus. We gave them the win versus Houston. That's a losable game. That's kind of really it, I guess. And the loss against Tampa Bay, or win against Tampa Bay, which is a losable game because
Yeah.
obviously, like Raleigh said, they lost it to fucking Tampa Bay last year. I mean,
Yeah.
Baker Mayfield really
So
got a fucking
yeah.
hold.
Smoke.
I think it's realistic. There's
They
definitely a
got
couple
smoked
toss
last
ups.
year.
There's definitely a couple toss ups,
There's a
but
couple toss-ups every year.
And
It's even.
it's go time now. 'Cause I got the Jets schedule up.
Let's go, baby.
So this is what the Jets schedule.
17
This is what the
and
Jets record is
0.
gonna
Don't
look like
even
in
need to look
2024.
through it. 17 and 0.
Week 1 at San Francisco.
Loss.
Monday night
Loss.
game. Loss.
I hate to
think
say it.
too.
I hate to
Then
say
they
it.
go on a nice little run though. Week 2, Tennessee. I think that's a
Win.
win. Week 3, New England.
Win.
Week 4, Denver.
Win.
Week 5, Minnesota.
Win. Split Buffalo.
Week 6. All right, we'll say split. This is a Monday night game
So
at home
the
versus
home,
Buffalo.
the home game, give them
Win.
the win home.
Give
They
them the win.
lost.
So at
there's-
this point, what are they?
We're 6-1, 5-1,
5-1.
5-1.
Sunday, week 7, they go to Pittsburgh.
Win.
Sunday night game.
Trap game.
Win.
But
Could be a trap game.
Total trap game, but I gotta say win.
All right, win. Week 8, they're at New England. 1 o'clock game. Sunday.
Win.
afternoon.
Win.
Halloween.
You gotta give them the loss
They got
here.
that
There's
Thursday
no.
night.
They're not going like 9-1.
Thursday
They're just
Who is it?
It's Houston. They're I
Thursday
mean,
night
that's-
Halloween
that's
game
The, that's
at
the trap
home.
game. That's the fucking trap
That's,
game. Right
that's
there.
going to be such
That
a
is-
bad trap
If
game.
we're 8-1 rolling into Houston, first off,
No, we're not rolling into Houston. It's at home.
Win.
Halloween game.
9-1. 9-1.
Halloween primetime game.
8-2. 8-2.
They gotta win that.
Bro,
game.
you're gonna
All
tell-
they're gonna lose that game. It's the Jets.
They're
let us down on
they're
Halloween.
gonna lose that.
They're gonna
game.
lose that game.
8-2. 8-2.
Week 10, they go to Arizona.
Win.
Win.
9-2.
Week 11,
10 and
at
2.
home primetime versus the Colts.
10-2.
10-2. By week 12, week 13, they're at home versus Seattle. Midday game. The rest of these games are all no primetime game.
Win.
Win.
W's.
Week 14 at Miami.
Give them
loss.
all right. Give them the
Loss. Losing that
split.
game.
Give them the split.
Then week 15,
Oh, against
they're,
Midsonville.
they're at Jacksonville.
We're at Midsonville.
I think that's a close game. but I will
That's the
give them
W.
win.
I think they pick off Trevor Lawrence probably a league record 9 times.
Here's another game. Week 16, right before Christmas, the Rams are at home. I think they lose that game to the Rams.
I think
The Rams are a sneaky team.
We're at home.
They're
At
home.
home.
I think they lose to the Rams.
I don't know. Cross country. What day is it?
Bro, we're really about to say that they're about to go 14-3. Like I can't, I can't handle that.
They're going to lose that game. Then week 17, they're at Buffalo. We give them the L there because we took
And then
the win at
and then
home.
we.
Then I think Sunday, week 18, at home Miami.
What are we giving them? Like 12-5?
Give them a win with Miami.
No, what I'm
because they're
saying-
split- I think they'll split with
So
Miami.
I'm
and
saying,
Buffalo.
what are we giving them? Like 13-4?
What's the record going into Miami?
First Miami?
No,
The
the
second
last
Miami.
game of the season.
I don't know. I lost track.
Dog,
What are you
Canada
doing?
for one job.
What are you doing here? All right, so we had loss.
It's hard to remember this thing when you're reading 17 different games.
We're
I didn't
never.
go to the school for the
We're
gifted,
never
bro.
losing. We're losing to San Fran.
One.
We're losing to Houston.
Okay.
We're losing to Buffalo.
Okay.
And to Miami. So we're saying we're gonna go fucking 13-4.
It's possible.
13. No.
The Jets
Yeah.
do not have a difficult schedule. If they're going to ever do it, this is the year to do it.
Oh God, go
Well, no,
13.
you also said the loss to the Rams.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
12
so
and 5. 12 and 5.
I can live with 12
12
and
and
5.
5, I think,
Yeah.
is fair.
I think-
the
I
Jets
think-
are good enough. If things go right, they stay healthy. 12 and 5 is
Yikes!
They should
I mean, they
go
won.
12
They
and
won
5.
10. They won
They
10
nine,
games.
9 games. We won
9
We
games.
won 9 and. Right? Yeah. No.
when?
We won 7-9.
Yeah,
we
they
won
didn't win
7 and
9 games.
eh?
Look,
Oh,
you're talking. They
that's
won 10.
7 and
You're
10.
right. They won 10 games when Fitzpatrick was
We won
quarterback.
7. Yeah, I was like, what are you doing?
that
I was so
2015?
confused. We won 7 games. Aaron
With the
Rodgers.
30th ranked offense.
Aaron Rodgers can give us 4 wins. So, like, you got to believe that can at least get 11 wins this year.
I agree.
Aaron Rodgers can give them 4 wins. Zach Wilson got them to 7 wins. They can get 4 more with Rodgers.
Yeah.
It's like, think about the games like last year. We're beating San Diego. We're beating
The way that
We're
Mahomes,
beating-
the way that
we're
Mahomes
beating-
played on Sunday Night Football last year, I think if
we're beating the Zach balled out. I can't even say that. I can't say he does so much better.
Zach had a few great games this
He
year.
fumbled
Yeah.
the game away at the end.
Well, against who?
Okay.
Kansas City.
But like,
Yes, but he played
I
great.
won't even say that, but
That should've been-
Oakland, San Diego,
And then we got hosed by the refs, but keep going.
Oakland and San Diego should have been wins. I can't even.
San Diego
Yeah.
and Oakland,
I'm trying to think of other teams.
Vegas and LA.
Whatever.
Bro knows
Fuck it,
nothing
call them the
about ball.
Redskins.
I'm gonna.
All right, let's do the Ravens. And then we're done with the episode. So this is what the Ravens 2024 record will be. Week 1, they're playing the Kansas City Chiefs, and they're losing.
They're in Kansas City Thursday night.
Thursday night in Kansas City.
Yeah.
I guess I'm
They're
getting
losing that game.
overruled. I think they win.
You think they go into Arrowhead and win?
You're out.
Yeah.
You're outvoted.
Okay.
I guess I'm outvoted.
I'm
I
gonna
think
go with Sam. Fuck
God
it.
damn it.
it's a win.
They're 1-0.
Vegas.
Week 2, they're winning. They're playing
W.
at Vegas.
We said they
Week
beat
3
Dallas
at
3-0.
Dallas, we gave them that. They're 3-0. Week
Home
4,
against
home
Buffalo.
against Buffalo.
Win.
I'll give them a win.
Primetime game.
4-0.
They're 4-0.
4-1.
Sunday, week 5.
in Cincinnati.
Sunday, October 6th, week 5. At Cincinnati, I think that's their first loss.
I think
Okay.
4-1.
Joe Burrow always plays.
Don't worry,
well.
I'll keep track. 4-1.
All right. Week 6,
Home against
home
Washington.
against Washington. They win
Win.
again.
5-1.
Week 7, they're at Tampa Bay.
6-1.
Monday night game.
6-1.
When?
This is a trap game. Week 8, they're at Cleveland.
No,
I
it's
think they
not.
lose.
7-1.
I
When?
think they lose to Cleveland.
I don't think they.
Cleveland,
When?
bro, Cleveland.
Stop.
We can't just give all these teams all these wins.
Sure, I can.
Yeah, because the other team's still losing.
Bro,
When?
All right. Week 9.
this is an easy
Home
ass
at
schedule,
Denver.
too.
Win.
This
When?
is a 8-1.
Week 10, home versus Cincinnati. We gave them the loss the first time. They're not going to lose.
9-1. I mean, they
Week
got to
11, they're at Pittsburgh.
When?
Win.
They're not losing to Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh plays them well, but they're
All
not
right,
losing.
week 12 at Los Angeles.
be 11-1.
Oh, so we're not even saying win.
Why?
We're
The,
saying-
When?
they're gonna lose to
I-
fucking
I
Los
don't
Angeles.
know.
I'll give you 11-2. They lose to Philly.
Week 13 at home against Philly. Sure, give them
Loss.
a loss.
11-2.
By week 14, week 15 they get to play the Giants in New York, and they're
When?
winning that
12-2.
game. Week 16, week of Christmas, they're playing at home versus Pittsburgh. I
It might be
think that could be a trap game.
When?
13-2.
But, all right, they're playing on Saturday.
They
are
won
playing.
14 games last year. It's
Yeah,
not
I
very
don't know what
difficult
we're
to say
talking
that they
All right.
added some
I'm
guys.
just saying. All right, this is
They-
coming off a short week because they already played
Short-
week 15. They played
okay.
Sunday.
Short week in
15,
Houston,
16,
loss.
Saturday.
Loss.
All right, 14
Christmas
and 3.
Day, 4 days later.
14
yeah, at Houston.
13 and
loss.
3.
That's on Netflix, by the way. That's weird.
Tragic.
And then they win at home.
Streaming sports
No.
should be illegal.
And then they win at home versus Cleveland. On
Nah, they
14. You think they lose the last game of the season? 'cause they're not
Everybody's
trying?
sitting. It's a loss. Everybody's sitting. They already locked up the number one seed.
They're gonna
What
go?
that's a thought right there. But all right, they're playing their guys 14 and 3.
Yes.
I think their backups fucking beat Cleveland. Fuck them.
14 and 3. I mean, what didn't they do that last year?
even
They're
if-
better this year than they
even
were
if
last
we're
year.
talking 14 and 3 or 13 and 4. I mean, that is a very.
I'll
once
say
again-
one thing.
The one thing
They're
is that
due for stinkers all the time. They just have weeks where they just don't show up and lose to teams that they have no business losing to.
I was gonna say that their offensive line is worse. I mean, no Morgan Moses,
no
and
Morgan,
no
Moses,
John Simpson.
I mean,
You still got Lindenbaum. You still got you still got Zeitler, and you still got Ronnie Stanley.
yeah, and I'm sure they picked up some guys that.
Yeah, they.
But I
figured
mean,
it
this
out.
is
They're
not
factory.
a difficult schedule to be playing the AFC. You're playing the AFC West and the NFC East, which. Yeah, I mean.
So like the thing is like
Yeah, you're
we
too
gave them the win.
like,
We gave them the win against Dallas, but that one could be a toss up. We said that they're
No,
gonna.
we gave them. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We
yeah,
gave them the
'cause
win
they're
against
in-
Dallas,
yeah,
but
they're
that could
in,
be-
they're in Dallas. That could be a
Right.
tough game.
So
even
that could be a toss
even
up.
in Tampa's a tough game.
Obviously, the Pittsburgh game on Sunday Night Football in Pittsburgh is a toss up.
Yeah, the Monday night in LA is not a toss up.
Philly, we gave them the loss. We know they're beating the Giants. We know they're beating Pittsburgh at home.
They could beat Philly.
Right.
You know, so like all these games are always toss ups. Like Buffalo.
Their win range is
Did we
11
give
to
them-
14.
Did we give them the win against Buffalo? Yeah.
Yeah.
We gave them.
Yeah, we said they
Give
started.
them almost every win.
But
We
like,
had
well, we
14-3.
also gave them the win against Kansas City. So that Dallas and Buffalo
And Cincinnati.
and Cincinnati.
Yeah, we said Cincinnati was their first loss.
In reality, they could come out 1-4.
100%.
They could. I don't think they do.
They
I think-
won't, but it's
I think they're too good of a team.
I
and
think it's
they have-
more. I think it's
they
more
have
likely they're
Buffalo-
4-1 than 1-4.
I think, yeah, but I'm saying like
It could be. It could be 3-2.
It's very possible. Yeah, it's
It
very
could be
possible
3-2.
for
They
them
could,
to be
they
1-4.
could lose to
Yeah,
Kansas
but like
City and Dallas.
that is a very tough schedule that lightens up very nicely. Then it's Washington, Tampa, Cleveland, Denver. Cincinnati's a tough game, but then Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh's a tough game in Pittsburgh on Sunday Night Football. It's a tough. Game.
It's yes and no because it's really like what's Russell Wilson going to be like? But then L.A., New York, Cleveland again. Like playing the AFC West is a fucking joke.
Yeah.
Besides Kansas City, of course.
There's a lot of bad teams these days.
Like the Giants.
Yeah. You're not wrong.
Suck
right.
ass.
Good episode. Next week, episode 60. Stay tuned.
Ooh, 60.